upon this fashion, Adam. Upon this fashion, Adam, bequeath me by will with 1,000 crowns, in charge of my brother on his blessing to breed me well lit. Well, there begins my sadness. My sister, he keeps at school and reports me only for profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically here at home, unkept, from coin and keeping for a gentleman my work that differs not from the solid monox. He lets me feed with his hinds. He bards me with face of a brother, and as much as in him lies, my gentility, my education, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I believe within me, begins to mute me against the servitude I no longer endure.
Here comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam. You shall hear me, or shake me up.
Now, sir, what make of you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
Marry, sir, be better employed.
Oh, shall I keep your hogs and the husks with them?
Know where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I better than him I before knows me. I know you're my oldest brother, in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you, my lord, that you're my older brother. But the same tradition takes not away my blood. Were there not 20 brothers, I have as one my father and me as you.
What, boy?
Come, older brother, you tell me this.
Will you lay hands on me, villain?
I'm no villain. I'm the youngest son of Sir Roland the Boy, he is thrice a villain. That's not such a father, God villain. For you know, my brother, I'll take the temper you feel and pull out your tongue for saying so. You're railed on yourself.
Sweet master, be patient. Your father remembers the accord.
Let me pass, I say.
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me a good education. You have treated me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding me from all these gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me now no longer endure. Therefore, give me the poor lemon my father left me by testament, or with that I will buy my fortunes.
And what will you do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled by you. You shall have some part in your will, and I pray you leave me.
I will no further offend you. That becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master, if not spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will physique your redness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Denise!
Calls your worship?
Was not Charles, the Duke's wrestler, here to speak with me?
So please you, he's at the door and importunes access to you.
Call him in.
Mark,
Good morrow, Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
there's no new news in court. The old news, that is. The old Duke is banished by his younger brother, the new Duke. 3 or 4 loving lords himself to volunteer exile with him. The lands enrich the new Duke, so therefore he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh no, for the Duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her that she would go into exile or die to stay behind her. She is no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter.
And where will the old Duke live?
They say he's in the forest of Arden, and then he married men with him. And there they lived like old Robin Hood of England, or they fleet their hours away carelessly as they did in the Golden World.
Well, do you wrestle tomorrow before the new Duke?
Yes, and there's a matter I came here to acquaint you with. It seems your younger brother, Orlando, has a disposition to try to fall against me, and he's young and tender, so I would loathe wood.
I'll tell you, Charles. He is the stubbornest young fellow I know, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use your discretion. I'd have you break his neck as his finger.
I'm glad I came here to you today, sir. I'll give him his payment.
Good day, Charles. I hope I shall see an end to this. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled yet learned, full of noble device of all sorts of intently beloved. And indeed, so much in the heart of the world, for my people who know him best, I'm altogether misprized. For this wrestler shall clear all.
Rosalind, I pray you be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I mistress of, and would you get I were merry? Unless you can teach me to forget my banished father, you must not teach me to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
You know my father has no child but I, like none is like to have. Yet when he dies, you shall be his heir. When he is taken away from your father by force, I will render you again in affection. By my honor I will. When I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my dear Rose, my sweet Rose, be merry.
Or what shall be our sport then?
How now, wit? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made messenger?
No, by my honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Here comes Madame Labelle. Hello, Madame Labelle. What's the news?
I will tell you the beginning, and if it pleases your ladyship, you'll see the end, for the best is yet to come. And here, where you are, they are coming to perform it. There came an old man and his 3 sons. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, and there was little hope of life in him. So he served the second, and so the third. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father, making such pitiful dole over them that all the beholders take his part with weeping.
Shall we see the wrestling, cousin?
You will, if you stay here. For here's the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Now do they come? Let us now stay and see it.
How now, daughter and cousin? Have you crept here to see the wrestling?
Yes, uncle, so please give us leave.
He was a girl of the light, I can tell you. There was such odds in the man, and the pity of soundless youth. I would fain dissuade him, but he would not be entreated. Go, speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
Young man, your spirits are far too bold for your years. You have seen the cruel proof of this man's strength. We pray you, take it your own safety and give up this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall not, therefore, be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
Punish me now with your hard thoughts, while your fair eyes and gentle wishes go to be my trial.
The little strength I have, I wish it were with you.
And mine to eke her out.
Fare you well.
Who here so desires the lives of Mother Earth?
Ready, sir. You should not have mocked me.
No more, no more! How do you, Charles?
You cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away! What is your name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
You wish you had told me of another father. I would thought your father would be honorable, but I defy him still my enemy. You should have better pleased me with this feat had you said of another house. But fare you well. You are a gallant youth. I do wish you had told me of another father.
My father loved old Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind.
Let us now thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks to my heart. Young man, you have well deserved.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye, fare you well, good gentlemen.
Can I not say, I thank you?
Gentlemen, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak yet. She urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, you were overthrown.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Though you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love, yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, and pray you tell me this. Which of the 2 were daughter of the Duke? Here or at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter if we judge by manners. Yet indeed the shorter is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by our usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I can tell you that of late, this Duke has taken displeasure against his gentle niece, grounded upon no other argument but that the people praise her for her virtues, and pity her for her good father's sake. And, on my life, his malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Sir, very well.
I respect bound to you. Very well. Must I, from smoke into smother, from tyrant Duke unto tyrant brother. Oh, but oh heavenly Rosalind.
Rosalind, Cupid, have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw it adopt.
But all this for your father?
No, so but this is for my child's father.
Come, wrestle with your affection.
They take the better part of a wrestler than myself.
Let us talk in good earnest. Is it so, on such a sudden, you should fall into the strong liking of Sir Roland's youngest son?
My father, the Duke, loved his father dearly.
Does that therefore that you should love his son dearly?
Look, here comes the Duke.
His eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with our safest taste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, niece, within these 10 days that you were so found in nearest public quarters 20 miles will die for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me know the knowledge of my faults bear with me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Let it suffice then that I trust you not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor.
You are your father's daughter, and that is enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor.
Dear father, hear me speak.
No, Celia, we stayed her for your sake. Otherwise, she would have gone with her father. She's too subtle for you. Her smoothness and her very patience speak to the people, and they pity her. You are a fool. She robs you of your name. And when she is gone, you will show more bright and seem more virtuous.
Then pronounce that sentence on me, father. I cannot live without her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself, you outstay the time. And upon my honor and the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, what will you do? Will you change fathers? You can have mine. I pray you do not be more discreet than I am.
I have more cause.
You have not. The Duke has also banished me, his daughter.
That he has not.
Has he not? Rosalind then lacks the love that shows that you and I are one. Shall we part? Shall we be sundered, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me where we may go and what to bring with us. And do not seek to take your griefs upon yourself and bear me out. Say what you can. I'll go along with you.
Why? Where shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provokes thieves sooner than gold.
I will put myself in poor and mean attire, and a kind of upper smirch my face. The likes of you, we should go along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because I am more than common tall, that did suit me at all points like a man. A gallant myrtle axe upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand.
Well, what should you be called when you are a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that is a reference to my state. I am no longer Celia. I am now Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
So go along with the flag girl with me. Leave me alone to room. Let us away. Our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and the safest way to hide from the pursuit that we made after my flight. Now let us go in liberty, to content and not to banishment.
Who goes there?
Oh, my sweet master. Oh, you never wrote Sir Roland. Why? What makes you here? Your brothers heard your praises. This night, he's very large and ready to slide, and you have been able. And because of that, he'll love me to cut you off. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Well, where out would you have me go?
No matter where, so you come not here.
What, would you have to go beg my food? It does someone not do how it can. I would rather subject myself to the mouths of my diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, a thrifty higher same than your father. Here is the gold, and all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong. I can do the service of younger men.
Oh, you good old man. You're not for the fashion of these times, where none will sweat before promotion. Come your ways, we'll go on together. And when we have these voyages spent, we'll shed some light on some dead low content.
Go on, master, and I will follow you, to the last gasp of truth and loyalty. From 17 years till now, almost 80, here lived I. But 80 is too late a week. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well and not my master's day.
How can it be possible that no one saw them? It cannot be! Some villains of my order consented sufferance in this.
I cannot hear of any that did see
see her. The ladies, the attendants to her chamber, they saw her in bed. In the morning, found the bed untreasured of their mistress. My lord, the Warrenish clown at whom so often your grace was wont to laugh is also missing. Caspera, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that you secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestlers that did but foil the sinewy Charles. And she believes, wherever they have gone, that youth is surely in their midst.
Send for his brother. Fetch the gallant here. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find you. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits!
I care not for my spirits. My legs are not weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and to cry like a woman. I must comfort the weaker vessel. Have courage, good Aliena.
I pray you spare me. I can go no further.
For my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you. Yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye, now am I in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travelers must be content.
I be so good, Touchstone. Looky who comes here. A young man and an old woman in solemn talk.
That is only restoring you to.
Oh, Cora, if only you knew how to love her.
My heart is dead for I love for now.
No, Cora, being old, you cannot guess. The only you first true lover is ever signed with him in that book. But if your love ever were like mine, I sure I think you'd never met love so. How many actions most ridiculous? How have you been drawn to by a fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, then you'd never loved so hotly. Do you remember not the slightest folly of love did ever make you run into? You have not loved. If you have not sat as I do now, wearing your hero and your mistress's praise. You have not loved. You have not broken company abruptly as my passion now makes me. You have not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
George, passion is much upon my passion.
And mine, for the growth of things, still.
I pray you, one of you question us when the she of any gold can give us any food, and almost faint to death.
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to all of you.
I pray that if love or gold can in this desert place by entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here is a maid who traveled much oppressed and faints with hunger.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake for more than my own, my fortunes were able to relieve her. But I am a shepherd to another man, and I do not share the fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition, and does little to find the way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, our cottage, flocks, and bounds of feed are on sale at our sheepscot now. By reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on. But what is, come see, and my voice most welcome shall you be.
Buy you the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and you shall have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend your wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it. Assuredly, the thing is to be sold. If you like upon a court, the soil, the pasture, and this kind of life, I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Not the instance! Sir, that cannot be. But were not the better part made mercy. I should not seek an absent argument to my revenge you present, but look to it. Find your brother wheresoever he is. Seek him with candle. Bring him dead or living within 1 year's time. Or look you no more to seek a living in our territory. Your things and all things that you do call yours, do we seize into our hands. So you can put you by your brother's mouth of what we think against you.
Oh, that your brother knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain than you. But push him out of doors. And let my officers of such a nature make an extent upon his house and lands. Do this expediently and turn him going.
Under a greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me? bird's throat could hope for a sweeter note. Come by me, here we'll find no enemy but winter and rough weather. Life couldn't recompense me better than to die not my master's debtor. Those who ambition shun will live beneath the sun. Come by me, here we'll find no enemy but winter and rough weather. Winter and rough weather. Winter and rough weather.
How now my brothers and mates in exile? Is not this life more sweet than that of queen and pomp? Are not these woods more free than that of the envious court? And is her life free from the from public confines, tongues and trees, books in the running brooks, sermons and stones and good in everything? I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, you kill us venison, and yet it irks me the poor dapple fools being native burghers of this desert city should with forked heads have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord. The melancholy Jaques grieves at that, and in that kind swears you do more usurp than does your brother that has banished you. Today my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he lay under an oak whose antique roof heaped out upon the brook that brawls along his wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag that, from the hunter they had taken to herd, did come to languish. And indeed, my lord, the wretched animal heaved forth such groans after discharge did stretch his leather coat almost to bursting, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous shapes. And thus the hairy fool much marked of the melancholy Jaques on the most extreme verge of the brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jaques? Did he not moralize the spectacle?
Oh, yes, into 1,000 similes. First, his weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth he. He wrote a sentiment, as most worldlings do, giving thy somewhat more than which had too much. And then, by being by himself, separated from his velvet friends, 'tis right, quoth he, thus misery does part from an influx of company. Anon a careless herd, full of pasture, jumps alongside him, but does not stop to meet him. Aye, quoth Jaques, sleep on, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion, for wherefore do you look? The poor and broken bankrupt there? And then, quite invectively, he pierced through the body of the country, city, court. Yea, and of this our life, see nothing but mere usurpers and tyrants. And what's worse, we fright the animal and kill them up, and they are assigned a native dwelling place.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing theater.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, but then he's full of matter.
Come, I'll bring him to you straight.
More, I pray you, more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jaques.
I beg it. More, I pray you, more. I can suck melancholy out of the song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I pray you, more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, more, another stanza. Call you them stanzas?
What you will, Monsieur Jaques.
Nay, I care not for the names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well then, if ever I thank anyone, I'll thank you.
The Duke has been all this day to look for you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. Come sing.
No.
I'll go sleep, if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die of food. Here I lie down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
How now? I have no greater heart than you. Live a little, comfort a little, cheer yourself a little. If this uncouth force feels anything savage, I will either be food for it or bring food to you. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold those lofty arms, and I'll here be with you presently. And if I bring you something to eat, if I bring you not something to eat, I give you leave to die. Come, I will bear you to some shelter. You shall not die for his lack of dinner, if there are anything good in this desert. Surely to that.
I think he'd be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, he is but even now gone hence. Here he was merry, hearing of a song.
If he can pack the drowse grow musical, we should surely have discord in the spheres. Go seek him out. Tell him I would speak with him.
He sees my little man's own approach.
Why? Anna, monsieur. What a life is this, that your poor friends are fool in your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool, a fool. I met a fool in the forest, a motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun, and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven has set me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his coat, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Twas but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more, 'twill be 11. And so, from hour to hour, we ripe and ripe. And then, from hour to hour, we rot and rot, and thereby hang the tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moan the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer, that fools should be so deep competent. And I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by the fool's dial. Oh, noble fool! Oh, worthy fool! Motley is the only way. What fool is this? One had been a courtier, and says, if ladies be but young and fair, the if they could know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he had strange places crammed with observation, to which he vents and mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat, and you shall have one. It is my only suit, provided you lead your better judgments of all things that grow running them, that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
Forbear, and need no more. Need no more.
I have eaten nothing yet.
Nor shall you, till necessity be served.
What kind of fighting cock is this?
Are you this bold in man? Or else a rude spire of good manners, that in civility you seem so empty.
You were right the first time, but forbear, I say, he dies in such as any is the truth, till I my prayers are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What shall you have then? Your gentleness shall force more than your force moves such gentleness.
I almost died for food. Please let me have it.
Welcome to our table. Sit you down and feed.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought all things had been savage here. Let gentleness my strongest horseman be with that. I blush you, I had my sword.
Sit you down in gentleness.
There's an old poor man who after me many weary steps, lived in pure love, oppressed with 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go seek him out, and he will nothing waste till you return.
May you be blessed for your good comfort.
See, we're not all alone and happy here. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful patterns than our own little scene.
All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, the acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whiny schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. And then a lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like a leopard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And a justice, in fair round belly with good capon line, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so, he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slivered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in the sound. Last scene of all, that ends his strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sun's teeth, sun's eyes, sun's taste, sun's everything.
Welcome. Sit down and bend over bird and let him eat.
Thank you most for him.
So how did you leave? I scarce can speak thank you myself.
Welcome. Fall 2. I will not trouble you as of yet to question you about your fortunes. Give us some music, and good cousin, sing.
Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love. And you, fresh crafting of night, stab me with your chaste eye bow, your huntress in my full electric sway. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character that every eye which is born shall see your virtuous everywhere. Run, born Orlando, carve on every tree, the fair and chaste unexpressive she.
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. And in respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. In respect that it is private, it is a very vile one. Now, in respect that it is in the field, it pleases me well, but in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well, but as there is no more plenty in it, goes much against my stomach. Have you any philosophy in you, shepherd?
No more that I know. The worse that one sickens, the worse at ease he is. And he who wants money, means, and content is without three good friends. That the property of rain is to wet and fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep, and that a great cause of night is the left sun.
Such a one as a natural philosopher, were you ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then you were damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, you are damned like an ill roast today, all on one side.
For not being at court, your reason?
Why, if you were never at court, you never saw good manners. And if you never saw good manners, then your manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. You're on a parlor estate, shepherd.
Good manners at the court are most ridiculous in the country, because good manners in the country are most ridiculous at the court. You say you not salute at the court, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance, briefly come, instance.
We are still handling our youths, and their fellows, you know, are greasy.
Why, do not your courtier's hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, shallow. Better instance, I say, come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again. A sounder instance, come.
Our hands are often tarred over with the surgery of our shepherd. And would you have us kiss tar? The courtier's hands are perfumed.
Oh, shallow woman! You worms meet in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed. Learn of the wise and pretend. Timid of a baser earth than tar. The very uncleanly flux of a cat. Mend the instant, shepherd.
Sir, you have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest. I am a true laborer. I earn what I eat and what I wear. Owe no man's hate, envy no man's happiness. Content with my harm, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer to get your living by copulation of death. To be vile, to be what no one. To betray a she-lamb of 12 months to a crooked-pated, old cuckoldly ram out of all reasonable men. Do not be damned for this. The devil himself will have no shepherd. I cannot see the officers in the street.
Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east, western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the fairest pictures lined are but select for Rosaline. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you, so 8 years together. Dinners and suppers and sleeping hours expected. It is the right but a woman's rank and mark.
Out, fool.
For a taste. If a heart do lack in mind, let him seek out Rosaline. If the cat will after time, so be sure, will Rosaline. Winter garment must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. Lay that wreath on a sheet and bind, then to cart with Rosaline. Through this knot a sourest rind, such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose will find, must find love's prick, and Rosaline. This is a very false gallant of verses. Why do you expect yourself to them?
Peace, you dull fool, I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace, stand aside, here's my sister, reading.
Upon the fairest boughs, at every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda, write. Helen's cheek, but not her heart. Cleopatra's majesty, Atlantis' better part. Sad Lucretia's modesty, thus Rosalind of many parts. By heavenly synod was devised of many faces, eyes, and parts. To have the touches of dearest pride that heaven would these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave.
O most gentle Poulter, what tedious humbly have loved, have you wearied your parishioners with, and never cried, have patience, good people.
How now, back friends? False little shepherd, go with him, clown.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat.
Did you read these verses?
Yes, and more too, for some of them have more in feet than verses would bear.
Do you know who has done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain you once wore about your neck. Are you blushing?
I pray you who?
It is the young Orlando who has tripped up the wrestler's heels in your heart, both in an instant.
Orlando?
Orlando.
What did he when you saw him?
Found him under a tree, dropped like an acorn.
It may well be called Job's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
He lay there like a wounded knight.
That would be a pity to see such a sight. It well becomes the ground.
He was furnished like a hunter.
He comes to kill my heart. Look, 'tis he. Slink by, you know him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I would prefer to get you on. And so that I did. For fashion's sake, I thank you
Or no more my verses from reading them favorably.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes,
Just. I do not like her name.
there was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers.
Not so, but I answer you right.
You nimble wit, will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress the world and all of our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I'll not change for your best virtue. I am weary.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in, you shall see him.
Ah, but there I shall see mine own figure. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I'm glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is the o'clock?
You ask who this but a time of day? There is no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister, here in the fringes of the forest like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you a native of this place? Your accent is something fine you can produce in so removed a dwelling.
As I told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. He was in his youth an inland man, and one that knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. And I thank God I am not a woman to be taxed with so many giddy offenses.
Can you say any of the principal evils he laid to try to improve?
No more principle. All were like one another as halfpence are, every one fault seeming monstrous till his own fault came to match it.
I pray you recount some of them.
No, no, no. I will not cast away my physic but on those that are sick. There is a man who haunts this forest. He abuses our young plants by carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs oaths upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all, forsooth, defying the name of Rosalind. Oh, I could believe that fancy monger. I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that so loves shake. I pray you tell me your remedy.
There is none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am sure you are no prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A shoe untied, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. But I'll pardon you for that, for simply having a beard is the younger man's revenue. But then your hose should be ungartered, your bonnet unbanded, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating perilous desolation. But you're no such man. You are rather quite device in your accoutrements, as seeming the lover of yourself than the lover of any other.
For youth, I wish I could make you believe I love.
Me believe it. You may as well make her that you love believe it.
By the white hand of Rosalind, I'm that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is mere like madness, I tell you, and deserves as well a dark house and a whip as madmen do. Yet the reason why they're not so punished and cured is that lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers themselves are in love too. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure it yourself?
Yes, one. And in this way, he was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, and come to my cottage every day and woo me, at which time would I, being but a meanish youth, breathe the effeminate, longing, liking, proud, fantastical, changeable, full of tears, smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion, truly anything. As heathen women are for the most part cattle of this color, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, and forswear him, then weep at him, then spit at him. Then I drove my suitor from his mad humor of love into the living humor of madness. As I will take it upon me to wash your liver as clean as a crowned sheep's heart, there shall be not one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured you.
I would cure you if you would but come to my cottage every day and woo me.
Then, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Come with me to it, and I'll show you. By the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good you.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
I'm a pastry doctor. I will fetch up your coat, doctor. How art you now? My man, by simple creatures content to.
Features. Lord Warren features.
I am here with you in your coats as the most capricious poet, honest oak, was among the gods. Truly, I wish the gods had made you more poetical.
I do not know what poetical means. Is it honest indeed in word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly. For the truest poetry is the most famous. And lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said, and lovers they do lie.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do, truly, for you swear to me you are honest. Now, if you were a poet, I might have some hope you did lie.
Would you not have me honest?
No, surely, unless you were ugly. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey as sauce to sugar.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me pretty.
Surely, but to cast away honesty upon a foul slut would put good meat into an unclean dish.
I'm not a slut! Although, I thank the gods I am foul.
Well, praise be the gods for your foulness. Gluttishness may come hereafter, but be it as it may, I will marry you. To that end, I have met with Olivia Martez, the vicar of the next village, who has promised to meet me in this place of the forest and to couple us.
Huh. I would fain see this meeting.
Love, the gods give us joy.
Courage! Here comes Olivia now.
Hello.
Olivia Martez, you are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Well, is there none here to give the woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Oh, truly she must be given, for then the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed. I'll give her.
Good evening, good Master Jaques. How do you do, sir? You are very well met. God bless you for your being here. I'm very glad to see you.
Will you be married, Motley? And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church, and have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is. This woman will join together as they join the wainscot. Then one of you will prove a shrunk panel, and that green timber, warp.
I am not in the mind, but I were better to be married of her than another. For she is not like to marry me well, and not being well married, it'll be a good excuse for me to hereafter leave my wife.
Go you with me, and let me counsel you.
Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in bargery.
'Tis no matter. Never a fantastical knave between them. I shall flaunt me out of my calling.
Do not talk to me, I will weep.
Do I pray you yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man?
But have I not cause to weep?
As one causes one does desire, therefore weep.
But why did Orlando swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Certainly there is no truth with him.
You think so? Not true in love?
When he is in love, but I think he's not.
You heard him swear downright that he was.
Was is not is. Wait, who goes there? Mistress and master, you have often inquired about the shepherd who you saw sitting by me on the turf, complaining of his love. Well, what of him? If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale glow of true love and the proud glow of red scorn and proud mistake, come hence a little, and I shall conduct you.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say you love me not, but say not so bitterness. The cold executioner will not ask for the humble death without first thinking pardon.
I will not be your executioner. I applaud for you, for I will not injure you.
Sweet Phoebe.
Till that time, come not near. And when that time comes, the foot prove your
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? As by my faith, I see no more beauty in you that without a candle may go dark to bed. Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? No faith, proud mistress. It's not your inky brows, nor your black silk hair, nor your cheek of cream, nor your bugle eyeballs that can take my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd! Wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she is a woman. It is such fools as you that make this world full of such ill-favored children. It is not the glass but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments show her. Come, mistress, throw yourself down on your knees, and thank heaven fasting for a good man's love, for I must tell you friendly in your ear, sell when you can, you are not for all markets. Foul is most foul, being foul to a scoffer. So cry the man mercy. Love him. Take his offer. Fare you well.
Oh, sweet me. I pray you chide me for a year. Rather hear you chide than this man will.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. I pray you do not fall in love with me, for I'm falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not.
Oh, dead shepherd, whoever saw that.
Sweet Phoebe,
What? Did you say something, Snowy?
sweet Phoebe, pity me.
What? You have my friendship. Is that not neighborly?
I would have you.
Do you know the youth that spoke to us just now?
Not very well, but I have met him often, and he is the owner of the cottage in the balance, old peasant was master.
'Tis but hate, boy. Yet, talks well. But what care I for words? Words do well. He was a pretty youth. Not very pretty. Wasn't very tall either. Yet, for his years, he was tall. He had a pretty redness in his lips, a little more lusty and riper than that mixed in his cheek. It was just the difference between mingled red and constant damask. What had he do to chat at me like that? He called my eyes black and my hair black, and he scorned at me. Marvel why I answer that. I'll write to him a letter. Very taunting one. You shall bear it. Will you, Silius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matters that are in my head and in my heart. Go, Miss Silius.
I pray you, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with you.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable creatures, and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the melancholy of the scholar, which is emulation, nor the courtiers, which is proud, nor the soldiers, which is ambitious, nor the lawyers, which is politic, nor the ladies, which is nice, nor the musicians, which is fantastical, nor the lovers, which is all these, but it is a melancholy of my own, compounded of many simples, and extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundries contemplation of my travel, which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler! By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear that you have sold your own land to see other men's, than to have seen so much and to have so little. It is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. And to travel for it, too. Farewell, good Monsieur Traveler.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Hello, Orlando. Where have you been all this while? You call yourself a lover. Never come in my sight again.
My fair Rosalind, I come within out my promise.
Break an hour's promise and love.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, don't be so tardy. Come no more in my sight. I'd rather be wooed by a snail.
Of a snail.
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head.
It pleases him to call you so, because Rosalind is earlier than you.
Come, come, for now I will be your Rosalind in a holiday humor. What would you say to me now if I were your very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Am I not your very Rosalind?
It takes some joy to say you are because I do talking of it.
Well, in her person I say, I will not have.
Then in my own person I die.
Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have the right Rosalind of this mind for a protest. Her frown might kill me.
By this hand it will not kill a fly. But come on, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition. Ask me what you will, and I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, Faith, will I. Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And will you have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
What say you?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us.
Please, yes, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Come to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why, now, as fast as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take you, Rosalind, for my wife.
I take you, Rosalind, for my wife.
I do take you, Orlando, for my husband. Now, tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
No, no, Orlando. Men are April when they woo and December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids. But the sky changes when they're wives. I would be more jealous of you than a Barbary cock pigeon over his hen. More glamorous in my desires than a parrot against the rain. More newfangled than an ape. More giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep in that when you are inclined to laugh. And I will laugh in that when you are inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise. For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave you.
Alas, dear love, I cannot last you 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I'll be with you again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew you, Prue. My friends told me as much. 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my faith, and in good earnest, if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetic, the most hollow, the most break-promised lover that your Rosalind could have chosen out of the gross band of unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure and keep your promise.
You've simply misused our sex in your love prank.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz. If only you knew how many fathoms deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection has an unknown bottom. I tell you, Aliena, I cannot bear to be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and cry until it comes.
And I'll sleep.
Which is he that killed the deer?
Sir, it was I.
Let's present him to the Duke, like a Roman conqueror, and it would do well to set the deer's horns upon his head, for a branch of victory. Have you no song for, sir, for this purpose?
I do.
Sing it, 'tis no matter how it be in tune, so it make noise enough.
From the top, make it drop. That's a really dead deer. Get a bucket and a mop. That's a really dead deer. I'm talking dead. That's a really dead deer. It's okay, Jayquees. Don't shed a tear.
A gentle none of the contents, but as I guess, but her stern brow lost my passion, which she did use in writing. Pardon me, I'm only a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter, and plain swagger bear this, bear all. Let's see. She says that I am not handsome. She calls me proud and says that she could not love me were men as rare as a phoenix. Honestly, her love is not the hair I do hunt. He that knows this love to be, little knows this love in me. Will you love such a woman? And be made into an instrument, the false strings to be played upon, not to be endured? Well, go your ways, for I see love has made you a tame snake. And tell her this, if she loves me, I charge her to love you. And if she will not, I will never love her unless you entreat for her. Now go, and if you be a true lover, not a word, for here comes more company.
Good morning, fair ones. Pray, if you know, where in the forest stands a sheep-coat fence, about with olive trees.
Just west of this place, down at the neighbor's bottom, the row of willows by a murmuring stream. Left on your right hand brings you to this place. But at this time the house does keep itself, for there's no other thing.
Are you not the owner of this house that I did inquire for?
There's no boast, but being asked to say we are.
Orlando sends his regards to you both, and to that youth he calls his Roswell. He sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, for you should know how, why, and where this very handkerchief was stained.
Well, I pray you tell it.
When last young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within the hour. In pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy. Lo, what befell, he threw his eye aside and marked what object did present itself. Under an oak tree, with the boughs mossed with age, and a high-top bulb of dry antiquity, a wrenched, ragged man, overgrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. But about his neck, a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself, who with her head in nimble threads approached the opening of its mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with the indented glides did slip away into a bush, which under the bush's shade a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching her head on the ground with a cat-like watch. For 'tis the royal disposition of that beast to prey on nothing that seems as dead. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
I have heard him speak of that brother. He did render him most unnatural that lived amongst men.
Twice did he turn his back and propose so, but kindness, nobler than revenge, and nature, stronger than his just occasion, he gave battle to the hungry lioness, who quickly fell before him. And from that miserable slumber, I awake.
You are his brother?
Was it you he rescued?
Was
it
me?
you who so often contrived to
No,
kill
no, no,
him?
no, no, no. It was me, but it was not me. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the very thing that I am.
But through the bloody napkin.
By and by, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me a fresh array of entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love. Brief I recovered him, bound up by his wound, and after some small space being strong at heart, he sent me here, stranger as I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this bloody napkin dyed in his blood to that shepherd youth that he does in sport call his Roswell.
Beginning, beginning!
Many will swoon when they do look upon blood.
There's more to it. Beginning!
He recovers.
I wish I were at home.
We'll lead you there.
Be of good cheer, you. You're a man, and you lack a man's heart.
Come, you look pale than pale. I pray you, draw homewards. Come with us, good sir.
We shall find it time, hard, patience, gentle Audrey.
Truly, the priest was good enough for all the old gentlemen saying.
But Audrey, there was a youth here in the forest that intends to claim you.
I know who it is. He has no claim on me in the world. Here comes a man mean.
Hello, Audrey.
Good evening, William.
Hello to you too, sir.
Good evening, gentle friend. Say, how old are you, friend?
20 and 5, sir.
All right, age. Is your name William?
William, sir.
Fair name. Were you born here in the forest?
No, sir.
A good answer. Are you rich?
Faith, sir. So.
So is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet is not. It is but so. Are you wise?
Yes, sir. I have a pretty wit.
Why, you speak very well. I do not remember a saying. The fool does think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Do you love this maid?
I do, sir.
Are you learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have. For it is a figure in rhetoric that drink being poured out of a cup and into a glass. By filling one does empty the other. For all your writers do consent that the man is he, but now you are not the man, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon the society of this female or clown. I will kill you 150 ways. Therefore, grumble and depart.
Do, good William.
Okay, sir.
Our mistress and master seek you. Come, away.
Good Marjorie. I attend.
Is it possible that on so little whim you should love her? That but seeing you should love her, and loving, wooing she should grant, and will you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it into question, her sudden wooing, nor your sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Aliena, and that she will love me. Together you will both be happily married. And I will formally give you all of Sir Roland's revenue and everything that comes with it.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow, and I will buy all the ducats connected followers. Go you and prepare Aliena, for look you here. Here comes my broadsword.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see you wear your heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought your heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I swooned when he showed me your handkerchief?
I greater wonders than that.
Your brother and my sister. They no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they asked one another the question. No sooner knew the question, but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees they have paid a pair of stairs to marriage.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I bid the Duke to nuptial, but oh, how bitter a thing it is to look through happiness through another man's eyes. By so much more shall tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness, for thinking my brother happy and having what he wishes for.
Why then tomorrow can I not serve in turn for your Rosalind?
I cannot live by pretending anymore.
I'll weary you no longer than with idle talking. Believe, if you can, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3 years old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art, yet not damnable. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven. It is not impossible for me, if it seem not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speak you in silver meetings?
By my life, I do. Therefore, put you in your best array, and bid your friends, for if you want to be married tomorrow, you shall. And if you want to be married to Rosalind, you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine, and a lover of hers.
You've done me much gentleness to show that letter that I wrote to you.
I I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell us you what is to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, wishes, all duty, all adoration, all purity, and all child. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
So am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor does not hear.
I pray you no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. Silvius, I will help you if I can. Phoebe, I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me here all together. Phoebe, I will marry you if I ever marry a woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. Orlando, I will satisfy you if I have ever satisfied a man, and you'll be married tomorrow. Silvius, I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you'll be married tomorrow. So, fare you well. You all know what to do. Go!
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Today is the joyful day of you. Today, we will be married.
I do desire it with all my heart. And I hope it is no dishonest desire to desire to be a woman of the world. Here comes more of the vanished dukes, lords. Well met, honest gentlemen.
By my truth, well met. Come, sit, and a song.
We are for you. Stand in the middle.
Let us clap to it roundly and sing until we are hoarse.
In faith, and both in a tune, like two gypsies on a horse.
It was a lover and his glass. Hey, no, hey, doggy, no.
The Roman green cornfield in us.
Hey, no, hey, doggy, no. Birds will sing, hey, ring a ring. Sweet lovers love the spring. 28 trips up the ride. Hey, no, hey, doggy, no. The pretty country folks will lie. Hey, no, hey, doggy, no. Birds will sing, hey, ring a ring. Sweet lovers love the spring. Shout that I sing this song. Hey, no, hey, doggy, no. All life is but a song. Hey, no, hey, doggy, no. Birds will sing, hey, ring a ring. Sweet lovers love the spring. Birds will sing, hey, ring a ring. Sweet lovers love the spring. Sweet lovers love the spring.
Do you believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all that he has promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not. As those that fear, they hope, and know they fear.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches in my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time that I ever saw him, I thought he was a brother to your daughter.
There is, sir, another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the earth. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts.
Salutations and greetings to you all. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country populace, to swear and to forswear. Courting and marriage binds and blood breaks, sir. A poor virgin, sir. I know fair thing. Of mine own, a poor human one. Take that no man else can.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his father like a stalking horse, and in the presentation of that he shoots his wit.
That is their mirth in heaven when earthly things made even their tone together. Good Duke, receive your daughter, Hymen from heaven brought her. Yea, brought her here, so that you might join your hands with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
There be truth in sight. You are my Rosalind.
Well, if sight and shape be true, my love do.
I'll have no father, if you be not he. I'll have no husband, if you be not he. Nor never wed a woman, if you be not she.
Peace, I bar confusion, because I must make conclusion of these most strange events. Here's eight that must take hands to join in Hymen's band, if truth holds truth it tends. You and you no cross shall part. You and you are heart and heart. You two as love must accord or have a woman to your lord. You and you are sure together as the winter to foul weather. Well, to wedlock him we sing, feed yourselves with questioning. No reason wonder may diminish how thus we met and these things finish.
Oh, my dear niece, what can you are to me? Even daughter was in no less degree.
I will not eat my words as now you're alive, but they cannot answer to this man.
Let me have the audience for a word or two. I am the second child of old Sir Roland that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how the men of great worth resorted to this forest every day, addressed the mighty power which were on foot, purposefully to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And so to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting with an old religious man, after some questioning with him, was converted, both from his enterprises and from the world. His crown bequeathed to his banished brother, and all their lands that were with them banished to be restored to them again. This be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young one. You offer fairly to your brother's wedding. To one his lands withheld, and to the other land itself at large. A potent dukedom. First, let us do those ends that here well begin and well begot. And after every of this happy number that have endured true days and nights with us, that shall share the good of our returned fortune, according to the measure of their states. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity, and fall into rustic revelry. You, rising bridegrooms, all the measures heaped in joy, till measures fall.
Ma'am, by your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duke has put on a religious life and thrown into the neglect of the pompous court.
He has?
To him I will go. At least in virtudes, there is much matter to be heard and to be learned. You to your foreigner honor I bequeath, your patience and your virtue well deserved. You to a love that your true faith doth merit. You to your land and love and great allies, and you to a long and well-deserved bed. And to you for a wrangling, for your loving voyage is but for 2 months victual. So, to your pleasures, I'm for other than for dancing measures.
Stay, please stay.
To see no pastime I, which you would have, I'll stay to know at your abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites, as we do trust the land in true delights.
We
it is no more handsome than to see the Lord prologue. If it be true that good wine need no ivies, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good ivies, and good plays prove the better with good epilogues. For what a case am I in then? That am to not insinuate with you in behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg would not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as pleases you. I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simping that none of you hates them, to between you and the women like as much of this play. And if I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you that had sweet breaths, or good beards, or sweet complexions, but I'm sure as many of you have good complexions, or sweet beards, or sweet breaths, will, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.